The Powers of the Mind, Part 2. The conclusion they have reached is that all these extraordinary powers are in the mind of man. This mind is a part of the universal mind. Each mind is connected with every other mind, and each mind, wherever it is located, is in actual communication with the whole world. Have you ever noticed the phenomena that is called thought transference? A man here is thinking something, and that thought is manifested in somebody else, in some other place. With preparations not by chance, a man wants to send a thought to another mind at a distance, and this other mind knows that a thought is coming, and he receives it exactly as it is sent out. Distance makes no difference. The thought goes and reaches the other man, and he understands it. If your mind were an isolated something here, and my mind were an isolated something there, and there were no connection between the two, how would it be possible for my thought to reach you? In the ordinary cases, it is not my thought that is reaching you direct, but my thought has got to be dissolved into ethereal vibrations, and those ethereal vibrations go into your brain, and they have to be resolved again into your own thoughts. Here is a dissolution of thought, and there is a resolution of thought. It is a roundabout process. But in telepathy, there is no such thing, it is direct. This shows that there is a continuity of mind, as the yogis call it. The mind is universal. Your mind, my mind, all these little minds are fragments of that universal mind, little waves in the ocean, and on account of this continuity, we can convey our thoughts directly to one another. You see what is happening all around us. The world is one of influence. Part of our energy is used up in the preservation of our own bodies. Beyond that, every particle of our energy is day and night being used in influencing others. Our bodies, our virtues, our intellect, and our spirituality, all these are continuously influencing others, and so conversely, we are being influenced by them. This is going on all around us. Now, to take a concrete example, a man goes, you know he is very learned. A man comes, you know he is very learned, his language is beautiful, and he speaks to you by the hour, and he does not make any impression. Another man comes and he speaks a few words, not well arranged, ungrammatical perhaps. All the same, he makes an immense impression. Many of you have seen that. So it is evident that the words alone cannot produce an impression. Words, even thoughts, contribute only 1/3 of the influence in making an impression. The man 2/3. What you call the personal magnetism of the man, that is what goes out and impresses you. In our families, there are the heads. Some of them are successful, others are not. Why? We complain of others in our failures. The moment I am unsuccessful, I say so and so is the cause of the failure. In failure, one does not like to confess one's own faults and weaknesses. Each person tries to hold himself faultless and lay the blame upon somebody or something else, or even on bad luck. When heads of families fail, they should ask themselves why it is that some persons managed a family so well and others do not. Then you will find that the difference is owing to the man, his presence, his personality. Coming to great leaders of mankind, we always find that it was the personality of the man that counted. Now take all the great authors of the past, the great thinkers. Really speaking, how many thoughts have they thought? Take all the writings that have been left to us by the past leaders of mankind. Take each one of their books and appraise them. The real thoughts, new and genuine, that have been thought in this world come up to this time amount to only a handful. Read in their books the thoughts they have left us. The authors do not appear to be giants to us, and yet we know that they were great giants in their days. What made them so? Not simply the thoughts they thought, neither the books they wrote, nor the speeches they made. It was something else that is now gone. That is their personality. As I have already remarked, the personality of the man is 2/3, and his intellect, his words are but 1/3. It is the real man, the personality of the man, that runs through us. Our actions are but effects. Actions must come when the man is there, the effects is bound to follow the cause. The ideal of all education, all training should be this man making. But instead of that, we are always trying to polish up the outside. What use in polishing up the outside when there is no inside? The end and aim of all training is to make the man grow. The man who influences, who throws his magic, as it were, upon his fellow beings, is a dynamo of power. And when that man is ready, he can do anything and everything he likes. That personality put upon anything will make it work. Now we see that though this is a fact, no physical laws that we know of will explain this. How can we explain it by chemical and physical knowledge? How much of oxygen, hydrogen, carbon, how many molecules in different positions, and how many cells, etc., can explain this mysterious personality? And we still see it is a fact. Not only that, it is a real man, and it is that man that lives and moves and works. It is that man that influences, moves his fellow beings, and passes out, and his intellect and books and works are but traces left behind. Think of this. Compare the great teachers of religion and with the great philosophers. The philosophers scarcely influenced anybody's inner man, and yet they wrote most marvelous books. The religious teachers, on the other hand, moved countries in their lifetime. The difference was made by personality. In the philosophers, it is a faint personality that influences. In the prophets, great prophets, it is tremendous. In the former, we touch the intellect. In the latter, we touch life. In the one case, it is simply a chemical process putting certain chemical ingredients together which may gradually combine and under proper circumstances bring out a flash of light or may fail. In the other, it is like a torch that goes round quickly, lighting others.